gClassFolders is a script that will allow you to take your roster information from a Google spreadsheet and create Google folders within your Google Drive. Now, these folders can organize all your documents for each of your classes, as well as control the editing rights so that students can either view or share and edit the documents, but you can also set up individual folders for each of your students. This year I teach one Avid class and 4 biology classes, so I'm going to show you the folders for both of those classes that I teach. So for my Avid 13-14 folder, gClassFolders set up a teacher folder. The teacher folder allows me, the teacher, to store documents that I'm the only one who's going to access. It also sets up an Avid 13-14 view folder. You can notice there's a little person right there on the folder that shows me that there are some sharing rights that have been given. So every student in my Avid 13-14 class, when they go into their shared with me in their Google Drive, they will see whatever documents are in this folder. Right now I've shared a document called the Avid Letters, which is an assignment, set of instructions for an assignment. So I want students to be able to view it, but I don't want them to edit this document. The next folder that I have is the Avid 13-14 edit document. This would be where I would drop in a file if I wanted all my students to work collaboratively together and the entire class to have editing rights to one document. And this last folder is the assignment folders. If I open this up, you can see that it has my Avid 13-14 second period, and inside here are folders for each and every one of my Avid students. And it's shared just between me and that particular student. So a student, if they wanted to turn something into me, can just drop it right into this folder. There are ways to make it a little bit easier. I don't want to have to go hunting through each of these folders. I can use the search to search for topic assignments, but I'm going to later talk about a script called Doctopus, which allows you to individually send out assignments to students, and I'll actually have a link to each one of their assignments in one spreadsheet, so that will make things a whole lot easier. But having these folders here are really great if you wanted to be able to see the students' work over the year. It's kind of a portfolio of all of their assignments in this class. Now, I'm going to show you the difference between my Avid folder and my biology folder. So it still has the same sorts of folders. The one difference, though, is that I have 4 sections of biology, but I only have one Bio 13-14 view and one Bio 13-14 edit. So anything I put in here will go to all 4 of my class periods. Where it separates out by periods is if I go into the assignment folders. Here now I have 4 assignment folders, one for each class period. If I open that up, it has the folders for each of the students in each of those classes. Now you might be wondering why 3 of them don't have a person and this one here has a person. I have, with my 4th period biology, I actually co-teach this class. So when I set up my gClassFolders on the roster, I added in my co-teacher's email address. So it is shared, this whole entire folder is shared with myself and my co-teacher. And so on all of the student documents, it will be shared between that individual student, myself, and the co-teacher in our 4th period class. To use gClassFolders to set up folders for all of your students and all of your different classes, the first thing you want to do is create a folder in your drive, and I titled mine gClassFolders, but it could be whatever you want to call it. And then inside of your folders, you will need a spreadsheet document of your class rosters. And here is my class rosters for this year, and I have it with my student ID numbers, student last names, first names, their class period, the name of their class, and I decided to include the year so that way the folders are separated each year. I know which ones are which, and then I have the student IDs. To install gClassFolders, what you need to do is go up to Tools. And in the Tools menu, you're going to choose Script Gallery, and then you're going to type in gClassFolders. You're going to see two different ones show up. The one that you want to choose is gClassFolders version 2, and this is the newer one. It is by Andrew Stillman here, and I'm going to install this. Once it's installed, we get a green installed, and then it says that the app needs to be authorized. So you're going to choose to authorize the app, and you're going to need to accept the terms. And now I can close this window. And now you'll notice in my toolbar here in my Google Spreadsheets, I have the tab for gClassFolders. So I'm going to click on that. The first one tells me some information about gClassFolders, and this will help you kind of get started so you know what the features are. So I'm going to close this window, and I'm going to go to the initial settings to get this set up. Now, you get to choose a language, so I'm going to leave it as English. Now, these here, you get to name these folder names. So you want to make sure that you name them how you want them, because you cannot edit it later. And everything looks good to me, and I'm going to choose single teacher mode. More than likely, you will not want to use the whole school mode unless your school is setting this up for all of the teachers. So I'm going to press save. Okay, now that I've set up gClassFolders, it has given me a spreadsheet for my roster. So I need to go back to my original spreadsheet, and I'm just going to copy and paste the information into these particular tabs. You want to make sure that you don't change the header of each of these columns. So first I want student first name, so I'm going to go to my list, and I'm just going to highlight all of my student first names. And cut and paste them. And do the same for last name, period, class, email, etc. When you paste your student email from your original sheet, we put these student emails together using the concatenate. So we created basically a formula. Once you copy them, in order to paste them, you don't want to paste them directly, or else you're going to end up getting a weird reference error. So you're going to right click, and you're going to choose paste special, and you're going to paste values only. And now I have my whole email listed here. Now that I've copied over everything into my gClass roster, I'm going to choose create new folders and shares. As you are running the script, you might get a pop-up menu that says folder creation process will resume in 30 seconds to avoid timeout. Sometimes if there's a lot of information, it may take a little bit of time to do this. Okay, the next pop-up came up that said class folders were created for Avid 13-14, and then period 2, 13-14, period 3, etc., and 29 new assignment folders were created. If I go back to my roster, the gClass roster, you can see that the folders were set up, and if I click on these links, it will go to those folders. But I'm only up to number 29. It still hasn't run through my entire rosters. It will take a little bit of time for that to happen. While I'm waiting for that to finish, I'm going to go over to my Google Drive. And here in my Google Drive, you can see that I now have an Avid 13-14 folder and an Bio 13-14 folder. Now let's say I have a document that I want my students to be able to see. It is the instructions for an assignment. I am going to click on the box to the left of the assignment, and I'm going to then click on the folder above that says Move To. And now I can choose that I want it in my Avid 13-14 folder, and I want it to be in the View folder. If you want it to happen to be in two folders at one time, let's say you want it in the Teacher folder as well as the View, if you pressed your command or your control, if you're on a PC, it will be moved and it can be placed into two different folders at the same time. Today I'm just going to choose to put it in the Avid 13-14 View folder, and I'm going to press move. Now all my students can see that in their view only folder right here. If I want to assign an actual document, let's say I want my students to give me their letters, I could have them drop it in their drop folder, which they will have in their shared with me. On theirs, they'll have their individual folder that's shared just between myself and them, as well as the assignment view folders for edit and view only. But I want to actually give them a document that they are going to type on and turn in. So I'm going to create just a blank document, but I want to name it exactly the title that I want them to use. So I'm going to use Doctopus, which is a different script to send out that information to my students. I'll be able to name the document exactly how I want. I could actually have text in the document, or it could just be a blank document that I want them to fill out. And it will automatically be shared between us. It will be editable. After the due date, I can embargo that document, which means that I can make it so students can't edit or change the document after it's due. And I could also use a rubric called gClassFolders with it. So it is a great script that will make your life a whole lot easier, and it's quick and easy to do, and that will be shown in the next video.